Hey, yo, peace, peace. This your man, Joe's coming right back at you with some of that real talk, man, real fast. Hopefully, hey, man, look here. My wife and I, like I said, man, we've been together for 35 years. It'll be 35 years up this coming up this year. And man, the key to us being together all these years is us maintaining to be lovable. You see, you have to. It's a self responsibility thing. You have to check yourself and your lovability because if you're not a lovable person, you're not going to have a lovable relationship. And people say, well, people they say, well, love is unconditional. No, no, that's not true. Love does have conditions. Because see, if you're a lovable person and then your opposite is a horrible person, that lovable person, they're going to shut down. And it's not fair. And see, how dare someone uh, ask to have a loving relationship when they're not a lovable person? Would you just looking for somebody to abuse? That's not how that works. That's not how it's supposed to work. But unfortunately, in some cases, it does work like that. See, this is another thing that we did. We made sure that we never yelled in our house, not around our children, not even in the presence of our home. This is my home. I don't want to put any negative vibrations into this house. So we never did that. You want to yell, you do that outside. You don't do that inside your home. Respect your space. I don't care. Treat your home as if it's a palace. It doesn't matter if you're the only one to see it that way. If you treat your home and you feel like you in a palace, other people are walking your home and they'll tell you, man, your place feels like a palace because that energy coming off of you and it's vibrating off of your walls. Now, being a toxic person in a relationship with a good person, that's just completely unfair. But what creates that toxicity? Usually when things become toxic, it's because of some sort of chemical spill or chemical exposure. You hear me? Now, I talked about those chemicals. I said, what did I say the other day? I said a candy bar that cost you 50 cents or $1 back in the days now costs you $4. And I told you why. The reason why was because they have ingredients, and those ingredients have chemicals in them. And those chemicals affect the body a certain way. You may have people who are ingesting these chemicals. So now the body, when it hits the pancreas is supposed to create what you would call insulin. But when these toxic chemicals hit the pancreas doesn't know what it is. So then it gets all sporadic and it starts to create what you would call estrogen. Now it's causing a higher level of estrogen in young males, feminizing young males, making them dangerous. They'll fight you and cut you real fast, don't they? Because they're all hyped up because they're emotional like females. But it'll cause that in males. And what it does, and not just children, it's in the children because you was eating them toxic things while you was pregnant, so now your children are tainted. But it happens to grown folks as well, grown men. Now, you have that, but on the other end, when that is, you have women with an abundance of testosterone in them right now. I mean, with an abundance of estrogen in them right now, making them extremely emotional, putting them to the point to where they can't make full decisions. They can't make correct decisions because they're indecisive because it's too much estrogen in your body. But here's the thing. Now you got too much estrogen in your body. So then now they keep the female, they will have her on the three lower chakras, meaning that you're here for fight, flight, and to survive, and survival. So now you're down at those lower levels down there, and while you're down at those lower levels, you have an abundance of estrogen, but you're down there at those lower levels, and while you're down at those lower levels, it makes your body produce testosterone. They're destroying the females. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? All right. but they may be destroying the females with the chemicals. And see, and then some of these chemicals, they give you these artificial sugars. It's like sugar 5.1 million with this chemical made sugar. And what does it do? It dehydrates the brain. Now, when it dehydrates the brain, that means the brain can no longer grow because the brain is dry. And then the brain, your frontal lobe right here, your frontal lobe is not allowed to make irrational decisions because it's dehydrated. It hasn't matured. That explains society today. Look at everybody. No one's growing up. These hot TTs and those hot choo-choos and all these little hot. They make everything spicy and hot for you to dehydrate you even more. And then instead of you drinking water, they have you drinking something with some hyped up sugar in it, a chemical sugar, which dehydrates you even more. So now your brain really isn't growing. So now you can't make rational decisions, but you're in an adult body. This is affecting the men and the women. A lot of these young men, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. This is your Uncle Judge talking. A lot of young men, they got these chemicals in them, and they're producing more estrogen. Their testosterone level is dropping. So now they're starting to yearn for other species that look like them. But in order to keep it player or try to keep it player, they go out and they abuse and try to sleep with as many females as possible, ruining females' future, many of their futures, you know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to prove to himself that he doesn't have a yearning for other males. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. I do real talk. We're living in some chaotic times. If you destroy the woman, you destroy the nation. The United States or America is a nation. Because this isn't just affecting doggone black people. Don't you get it twisted. I've been in them schools. It's affecting their kids the same way. Chaos. Look, we've created a toxic culture, or we've accepted a toxic culture because no one wants to take responsibility for being a decent person. A decent person puts decent things in their body. Then when you put decent things in your body, or you at least detox some of the poisons out of your body, it puts you in a more loving state because now you're showing your body that you love your body. Because a lot of you, man, a lot of females out there and a lot of males, you're dealing with trauma. You made bad decisions because you haven't matured. You can't forget the decisions that you made. You hold on to a grudge because at nighttime you have to have enough fluids in your body to wash the brain. You literally have to have enough fluids in your body to wash the brain. And when you wash the brain, it makes you those things. You know how you can hold a grudge for years? But when you wash the brain, you be like, oh, well, that just happened. Let's move on to the next thing. Then you're dealing with sleep deprivation. You're binge watching TV shows, eating more garbage. So now you can't make proper decisions. Can I keep it a buck with you? I'm gonna do it anyway. People did not trust that female because of the things that I am talking about right now. Because of the chemical imbalance, and we don't know if she's a female or if she was a woman. There is a difference. You notice I didn't use the word woman because there is a difference. The woman is something to be honored and respected and protected at all times. Even if you have to put yourself in danger. The female, it's something different. The female wants a man. Put it this way. The female wants to run the streets and be the harlot. And then she wants us to respect her as a woman when you're truly not. You're just a female. The woman, she honors, loves, and respects herself. And she analyzes the man. She looks at his maturity level because she's mature, so she knows how to tell if the man is mature or not. She knows how to tell if that man has a little bit of player in him, and she usually knows how to tell the level of player in him. She knows if it's something that she can control, or she knows that maybe he's too far gone. See, the women, they don't make the same mistakes doggone females do. There's a whole bunch of females out there who make bad decisions. You don't believe me? You starting this movement called the Me 4, the 5C, or whatever the movement's called. And then some of these females are saying, we're just not going to have babies no more. Is that a good decision? What you're saying is you're going to end the whole human species. Because you're emotional. Double, triple estrogen. You can't get that weight off. Double, triple estrogen. You've done so many things in the world with your body that you're ashamed, don't you? And you try to lie to yourself like, ain't no shame in my game, but in all honesty, you're ashamed. Anytime you can walk down the street and you see two or three people who you didn't have relationships with, in the course of a day, you ain't ashamed of that. Just think about, because you know you're ashamed, because you just think if your father was around, do you think he would be proud of you? I don't think so. A lot of people, man, but getting back to the lady who was running for president. She was dangerous. Hear me out. It's the toxic male and the toxic female who are clearly the problem in society. It's clear 1,000,000%. The lady that wanted to run for president, she put characters up on stage. MG, the horse, put that character up on stage, and that character was doing that the little booty dance and all that stuff. And then she has some other shady characters that would represent the lower levels of the female character. And she placed them on the front. She put them on Front Street. Now, what that would do is, because no man wants their daughter or their granddaughters to be like MG the horse or any of those other characters. We don't want that. We want our babies to find decent men and know how to choose them. We want our babies to be looked upon as decent women. We want them to grow up to be decent women. But if you take, but they took that character, the characters, placed them in front of you. She tried to trick you with that, and then if she would have won, that would have put in the mind of little young babies coming up. It would have put in their mind, well, you'd be like, well, you know what? Because CB, she used to prostitute herself. And when I say prostituting yourself, I mean either you're doing on a pole or you're doing on the corner. Well, CB, she used to prostitute herself, and then she became famous. She got rewarded. And then now the lady who's going to become the president, she's endorsed by CB. So she's saying that she's all right with females acting like CB and acting like MG the horse and the other characters who objectify their own bodies. That's what that was going to tell. You wanted to reward that lady for trying to destroy the future of the females who want to take the choice of becoming real women, the possible women. Now, the females who are making this movement, they're gone. It's good for them to show themselves, fellas, because it may give you a chance to find a real one, because those things are chemically damaged. Let them gather, and then let them gather themselves together, and then, I would hate to say this, but desert them. Turn your backs on them. Because they're no good. They're not good for family. They're not good for society. And it's not their fault. Because no one's talking to them like I'm talking to them. Right? Like no one told them that these things are going to have an effect on you that you're doing. A lot of the times the mothers was giving these, because the diet has everything to do with what I'm saying, because they got parasites in them. They got doggone all kinds of chemicals in them. They've been exposed to all kind of toxic things going through the eyes to know all the. This is not good. The woman is the most important thing on this planet. And because it brings about life. You are the most precious thing. But you've been under attack. Someone has purposely done this to you, and you played right on into it. You've created the toxic male. This is something that's been going on over for generations. Shit, back in the days during the 60s and stuff, when the 60s and the early 70s, when people were still halfway decent, it's because they had a clean diet. They wasn't putting the stuff in the food like they putting in today. You didn't see programming, toxic programming. Most of these females, they were brought up watching Girls Gone Wild. Totally toxic program. They was brought up watching this thing called Mean Girls. Completely toxic programming. They grew up watching these Real Housewives movies or TV shows. Completely toxic shows. That has become a part of them. They have the harlot and the Jezebel spirit running all through their veins right now. And then don't get it twisted. Because men do not like you. A desperate man might get with you and get at you, and he ain't ever gonna hit you back again. Because he know what you are. But for the most part, you're gonna get what you deserve. Your body is just going to purposely, you're naturally going to call for a toxic, you're going to be naturally drawn to another toxic being. It does not matter if you mess with what team you messing with. Because you say like, I'm not messing with them men no more, I'm going to mess with women, but you'll still run into another toxic woman. It doesn't matter. Like attracts like. You're dealing with extreme traumas, I'm telling you, mentally, physically, and spiritual trauma. Anyway, man, this is your man, L. Judge. I hope I made you think. I'm out.